Hello, hello, Aldwyn Alternate here. Happy Australia Day to you. I was on an international Zoom call this morning with the amazing Lynn Santa, dear friend of mine, and people from all over the world. They joined from Germany, from Vienna, from Cairns, from Coffs Harbour, from Buenos Aires, from Argentina. Amazing people from all over the world. Thanks to technology, we can connect like this. And we were going through some facts about Australia this morning, and I thought I'd share some with you because I find it fascinating, the things about Australia. You know, I was born here 47 years ago, and so much I don't know about this amazing country, heaven on earth, that is Australia. And particularly here on the Gold Coast, I must say it's absolutely glorious, and I can't think of anywhere else I would rather be more than here on the Gold Coast. So time to share some facts with you, and if you have any facts you'd like to share too, pop them into the comments. Love to hear from you. Fascinating stuff. All right, so here's some facts for you. Did you know that Melbourne was the capital city of Australia for 26 years between 1901 and 1927 before the capital shifted to Canberra? Isn't that interesting? Melbourne was the capital city of Australia for 26 years. Did you know, second fact, there are 3 times as many sheep than people living in Australia. Now, Australian population is around I think it's around the 28 million mark now. It was around 26 million. It keeps going up. So 3 times as many sheep, can you believe it, than people living in Australia. Third fact, the Australian emu, a large flightless bird, can run as fast as 45 kilometres per hour, which is 28 miles per hour. The Australian emu, that's the big bird with the long legs. Fourth fact, platypus are highly poisonous and have enough poison to kill a dog or make a human seriously ill. Isn't that interesting? Who would have thought? Platypus. Amazing. Did you know, fifth fact, wombat poo is shaped like a cube? Wombat poo is shaped like a cube. These are facts that I'm sure you've been dying to find out. Here's another fact for you. Number 6, the box jellyfish, which is found in the waters of the Great Barrier Reef, is responsible for more deaths than snakes, sharks, and saltwater crocodiles combined. Now, isn't that interesting? Ever since that Jaws movie came out, you know, people have been paranoid about sharks, but here we are, the little box jellyfish. Now, the Irukandji jellyfish is only about 1.5 centimeters long. It's a tiny little thing, and it's very poisonous. And you will find that north of around Bundaberg North in the Great Barrier Reef area. And a lot of people will wear full body suits when they go swimming in this area because of the very poisonous jellyfish in that area. That's why I say the southern part of Queensland is much better, because you don't have that to deal with, and further south, of course. Okay, next fact. The record jump recorded by a kangaroo is a whopping 9 meters. That's 30 feet in a single leap. 9 meters in a single leap is the longest record jump by a kangaroo. And I wonder how they got the kangaroo to do that. Was someone running after that kangaroo? Interesting. Wonder how they came to that conclusion. Here's another fact for you. 2 native Australian animals, the platypus and echidnas, are the only 2 mammals in the world that lay eggs to give birth. Interesting. Koalas sleep for about 20 hours per day. Now, koalas are also very territorial, and a male koala will actually rub itself against a tree to leave its scent. So when koala habitat gets taken down, it's very, very stressful for koalas, and they actually often end up with chlamydia and with eye diseases from stress because of their habitat being chopped down due to development. And this has happened a lot around the Gold Coast area, unfortunately, particularly around Coomera, places like that. And I did a fundraiser actually a few years ago for koalas. We did a fundraiser for the Currumbin Wildlife Hospital. And at that time, there was only 50,000 koalas left in the wild. They were critically endangered at that time. And then we had those massive bushfires a few years ago, and the koala population halved in the wild. So now we're down to about 25,000 koalas left in the wild. So they're even more critically endangered now. So anything you can do to help koalas will be greatly appreciated, such as 3 simple things you can do is drive slowly at night. Okay, and this is really with all animals. You know, there's so many animals that are hit at night, particularly around dusk and dawn. Please drive slowly, particularly if you see a sign that says beware of koalas. Now, often a lot of koalas are found underneath signs that say beware of koalas. Okay, so please drive slowly at night. Also, another thing you can do is you can contain your dogs at night. Okay, so a lot of koalas are attacked by dogs, so please contain your dogs at night and plant some eucalypt trees, right? There's not enough food for koalas in Australia. They are absolutely beautiful. We actually used to have millions of koalas until they were hunted for their fur, much like, you know, possums are hunted for their fur. In New Zealand they're considered a pest, but, you know, here I love possums. I have possums at my place. Anyway, I digress a little bit, but, you know, koalas sleep for 20 hours a day and they're so beautiful. I love koalas, and I love all the kangaroos, and some species now of different types of kangaroos now have become extinct from hunting. And, you know, we think we have, you know, there's actually millions of kangaroos that are hunted every year for their meat and for their fur in Australia. And I believe we need to start being a little bit more careful about what we are culling, you know, because we may think we have an infinite supply of certain animals, but in actual fact, you can very much kill animals to extinction. And I think we need to protect our national icons. Okay, some more facts for you. Tasmanian devils have the strongest bite per body size of any mammal, the strongest bite. Now, there are 4 different species of kangaroo in Australia, with the red kangaroo being the largest. The largest big red ever seen was 2.1 meters tall. That's 6 foot 9 inches, 2.1 meters tall, and weighed 91 kilos. Isn't that amazing? Now, I'm 5'7" or about 170 centimeters, so that's a fair bit taller than me for the largest kangaroo. Amazing. Another fact for you. The Australian thorny devil is one of the longest lived lizards of its size in the world, with a lifespan of up to 20 years. The Australian thorny devil. Now, the kangaroo and emu were chosen to be the 2 animals on the Australian coat of arms because they can't walk backwards, reflecting a forward-thinking culture. Interesting. Next fact, 17 of the world's most poisonous snakes can be found in Australia. And, you know, similar to sharks, look, snakes are not going to hurt you. Just leave them alone. They do their thing. You don't need to freak out the minute you see a snake or you see a shark or you see a spider. You do not need to freak out. Just let them be. Let them do their thing. You know, they're just out there trying to survive like the rest of us. Okay, so no need to panic. Do you know, actually, even with the Lassa virus, right, this bat disease that was going around, did you know that more people die from gaming machines falling on them than from the Lassa virus, from the bat virus, okay? So don't believe everything you hear. Do your own research. Next fact, Australia is home to around 1,500 types of spiders, 4,000 types of ants, and 350 types of termites. Can you believe that? Amazing. We have such an amazing variety of animals, reptiles, insects. I just think it's absolutely fascinating. And, you know, for those who don't believe there's a creator out there, well, how can we have so much magnificence with no creator? Makes no sense to me. And it is phenomenal when you take a moment and you connect with nature and connect with the beautiful animals and all the different species around us. I find it absolutely fascinating. Next fact, while kangaroos are considered a national icon with over 40 million estimated throughout Australia, they can also be considered a pest in some locations and are culled, as I mentioned, because they're seen as a pest. Okay. Now, the unfortunate thing is with a lot of kangaroos that are culled, that often they are mothers and the baby kangaroos get killed as well. And I am not an advocate for culling any animal personally. I mean, sure, we have introduced animals that, human beings have moved animals around out of their natural habitat, and kangaroos aren't one of them, but, foxes, cats, of course, the cane toad. A lot of people don't like the cane toad. Well, they were introduced into Australia to combat the cane beetle, and soon went crazy and took over, right? Although crows can eat cane toads. It's another interesting fact that crows will actually turn a cane toad upside down because the back of them is poisonous. They'll turn them upside down, eat the inside of them, and leave the rest. So crows are very highly intelligent birds. Next fact, Australia has a larger population of camels than Egypt. Did you know that? Australia has more camels than Egypt. Amazing. Okay, next fact. Voting in elections in Australia is compulsory. You don't have a choice. For everyone 18 years of age and over, with an initial fine of $72 issued for non-voters. Despite this, only about 81% of eligible Aussie voters cast their vote. Isn't that interesting? And of course, we had the US presidential election recently and a whole lot of controversy around that. I wonder how many people actually voted in the US election recently who could vote. Next fact, Australia was the second country in the world to grant women the right to vote, and this happened in 1894. So women were able to vote as of 1894. In 2005, the government issued a ban on saying the word mate at Parliament House. That ban lasted 24 hours before it was overturned. Now, g'day is very popular, of course, in Australia. People say g'day instead of hello. And mate is very popular as well. Certain ways some people say mate, like mate. Sounds a bit like a crow, actually. Anyway, I digress. Good old Aussies. Yeah. Oh gosh, the Aussies can be very embarrassing, some of the ways that some Aussies speak. Anyway, moving right along. Swimming at public beaches in Australia during the day was made illegal for 64 years. Swimming at public beaches in Australia. Isn't that interesting? Illegal for 64 years. Next fact, the legal drinking age in Australia is 18 years of age. And I know in parts of the world, I know when I was in Sweden, it was 21 at the time, 20 odd years ago. So it varies around the world. 18 years of age, people are out there drinking like crazy often in Australia. They love their alcohol, particularly beer, right? They love their beer and wine, of course. Next fact, Australia officially became a federation in 1901. Next fact, Australia's first police force was made up of 12 convicts who were judged to be the best behaved. No wonder we have so many issues with our police force. It started with convicts, right? Oh, dear. Convicts from England. Yes, indeed. And I take my hat off to all of the Indigenous Australians, the amazing Indigenous Australians who, of course, have been here for well before any of the Caucasian Australians have been here. And I love the Aboriginal Indigenous culture. And I take my hat off to all of the original Australians, which, of course, are the Aboriginals. And very grateful for Aborigines in Australia. And Australia Day, I always remember the Aboriginals, and am very grateful for the long history and so much wisdom that comes from Aboriginal culture when you investigate. And we saw today on the international Zoom call, we saw a few celebrities from Australia. We watched the video, the famous video that is on YouTube of I Still Call Australia Home. A very powerful, moving song that was sung by a few different celebrities. We had Olivia Newton-John, Hugh Jackman, Russell Crowe, Keith Urban, and Nicole Kidman. We're all singing that song on stage in front of Oprah and lots of people. Very moving song, and I shared it on my Facebook if you want to see that. I love that song. I Still Call Australia Home. Beautiful song. Thank you so much for all these comments coming through. Hello, Kapil, beautiful, my dream. Thank you so much, Katrina. I want to be a koala, sleeping for 20 hours a day. Funny. Claire says, wow. Okay, I'm not sure which fact you're saying wow to there, Claire, but hello, great to see you. Claire says, be careful of the little white-tailed spiders. Right, yes, white-tailed spiders, yes. So ideally, leave them alone, or, I don't like killing anything, I must say. I'm very sensitive like that. So I like to let animals be animals and insects be insects. To SM Imtiaz, happy Australia Day. Thank you so much. Claire says, haha, you crack me up. Thank you, Claire. Lots of love to you. Where are you, Claire, right now? Are you in South Australia still? Where are you? Always traveling around the countryside. Hope you're safe wherever you are. In fact, watching this right now, where are you watching this from? Love to hear from you in the chat. And are there any Australian facts that you know that you could share as well? Are you in Adelaide, Claire? Excellent. Well, thank you for joining today. Where are you right now in the world? And do you know any other Australian facts that you can share in the chat there? If you haven't subscribed to Media Queen TV, I have over 550 videos now on Media Queen TV on YouTube. I suggest subscribe, and I've got lots of inspiring interviews. In fact, I just did one just before this with the amazing Nick Cree, who is the digital transformer, and we talked about how to transform your business online. 1 hour interview, and also he's our guest speaker at the next Mass Media Tribe meetup, which is coming up next week on February 3 from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Also, I have my next free PR Secrets event coming up. I'm doing a half-day workshop 23rd of February. And we also have, that's 9 to 1 Australian Eastern Standard Time, and the Global Good News Challenge coming up on the 1st to the 5th of February. And that's free to participate. In fact, all these things are free. That is a way you can help share more inspiration, more good news, more gratitude in the world, because love and gratitude are the highest vibrations you will feel. And the more you can get into love and gratitude, the more amazing experiences you will attract to yourself in life, and the greater experience of life you will have, regardless of all the dramas going on out there in the world, and despite what mainstream media are telling us is actually going on right now. Okay, do your own research, make up your own mind about what's going on. Do not believe everything you hear in the mainstream media. I certainly don't. Having been a journalist for 37 years, being in the media in one form or another, I can tell you there are hidden agendas when it comes to media. From an insider's perspective, I can tell you that it is not all true. Okay, and there's a lot of hidden agendas going on, a lot of interesting things going on right now. However, the thing is to get informed so you can make informed choices and not buy into all the drama, okay, because things can always be worse, right? So here's to being grateful for what you have. And I'm certainly grateful to be living in Australia, and for all of my beautiful Australian friends and from people all over the world joining us today. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you so much for joining me. And please connect online. Just follow me, search Aldwin Alternay on all the social media channels. You'll find me: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, of course, the Media Queen TV channel, Pinterest, I think I mentioned everything, LinkedIn, just Google me, you'll find me. And of course, the website's aaexpos.com, freeprSecrets.com for our next events, and Eventbrite as well. If you want to get an update of all of our events, then just follow me on Eventbrite. Love you too, Claire. Beautiful friend, Claire. Miss you, Claire. And Susie Longman, good to see you. Susie's behind the amazing community Christmas events we have on the Gold Coast for the homeless people and people who are lonely. Absolutely extraordinary what you've done with that, Susie. Well done. With that, thank you so much for joining us. Happy Australia Day to you. Blessings to you. Sending you love and gratitude from all over the world. Pop your comments in the chat. What sort of facts do you know that you could share with us today? Do you have any facts that you would like to share? And if you do, pop them in there. Love to hear from you. And blessings to you. Here's to being grateful for every moment. Life is so precious, and so much we can be grateful for in every moment. Enjoy your Australia Day night. We'll see you again soon. Bye for now.